Look, it's kind of hard to figure out where exactly Dragon Ball Super went wrong, but Super Saiyan Blue. It all started with Super Saiyan Blue. Am I jumping the gun a bit? Maybe. I mean, we can't blame all the problems of a 131 episode show on a single transformation, right? Yes, we can. Look, what I'm gonna say isn't anything new, but man, I gotta let this out of my system, man. The introduction of Super Saiyan Blue messed Dragon Ball up so bad. Dragon Ball Super, when it first came out, was so promising. My hot take is that Battle of Gods is the best Dragon Ball movie.
Stop the cap.
What? You weird, buddy. You're weird.
That's right. Better than Superhero, better than Fusion Reborn, and better than Broly. Okay, if we're counting History of Trunks as a movie, then yeah, that one's the best.
Oh my god, my Shayla!
The point is, when Dragon Ball ended back in the 90s, people thought Dragon Ball was over, that it was never coming back. But then Battle of Gods came out. It was a massive moment for everyone on Earth. And yes, I mean everyone. You better believe the crime rate in Mexico went down. You know how much those guys love Dragon Ball. And with Battle of Gods came one of my favorite transformations of all time. Super Saiyan God. This form was literally a symbol for the new era of Dragon Ball. It was new, it was fresh, and more importantly, it, along with Beerus, opened up the universe to things we've never seen before. It was exciting. I was so ready to see what new and innovative ideas this series would give us after this. But then, we got Golden Frieza and Super Saiyan Blue. Are we serious? This was the biggest fumble Dragon Ball could have ever done. We just got introduced to some new and exciting characters. The God of Destruction, a morally gray, otherworldly being that does whatever he wants. The mysterious angel Whis, who seems friendly and unimposing at first, but actually has the power to bring down a god. And the legendary form Super Saiyan God wasn't a power you could ever hope to achieve through hard work alone, which went against the entire philosophy our main character represented. So to follow these creative ideas, let's just reuse an old bad guy, turn him yellow, and make another new Super Saiyan form, even though we just introduced a new one that's objectively, like, way cooler. Oh, but since the bad guy is already yellow, we can't use the color yellow anymore, so let's make the new form blue, yeah! My god, how did we fumble this bad? Going from Battle of Gods to Resurrection F felt like drinking a really good milkshake. It's delicious and you want more, but then you realize that the straw you've been drinking from was a paper straw. And now the only thing you're tasting is a soggy, disgusting mess. And because the straw is so wet, you can't even drink the milkshake anymore. And you miss it. What is this guy on about? I hate paper straws. Listen, Super Saiyan Blue in concept is something I can actually mess with. Super Saiyan God is a divine power, but it can really feel impersonal because it's not really something you work hard for. But by combining the power with the normal Super Saiyan, which is a power our characters did have to work for, then you get a form that feels like the natural culmination of what the entire series is built up to. But that's my problem. It should have been something they built up to. Picture this scenario for me. Imagine if Dragon Ball Super had an arc where Beerus and Whis kind of had a superiority complex. They invite Goku and Vegeta to train with them, but they mainly train them to master Super Saiyan God. They start telling them how much better their lives would be if they just remained in their Super Saiyan God state. By cutting off their emotions, that's when they truly become a deity. They can even tempt them with stuff like, by being in that form, you can actually extend your life, become immortal like me, and fight in as many battles as you want. Because you're a god, who's gonna tell you otherwise? And Goku and Vegeta do actually get tempted by this. An eternity of battle? They can have everything they've ever wanted. All they'd have to do is become a god permanently. But then, They think back on their old journeys. What made them who they were wasn't necessarily how strong they were, but by how determined they were to get over any obstacle that was in their way. Their emotions, their rage, their love for their family, their empathy was what made them who they were. They couldn't become cold and detached like the deities in front of them. No, they weren't gods, they were Saiyans. And that would be the moment they unlock Super Saiyan Blue. Holy shit, imagine how badass that would have been. We could have had such an emotional arc for Super Saiyan Blue's reveal. It could have meant so much thematically, but no. We just had it randomly revealed with no context whatsoever. Yeah, hi Frieza, I just kinda got this form off screen, you know. I just trained for it, you know, like usual.
Oh, really? Haha, I trained for this form off screen as well.
Jesus Christ.
That was probably the best Frieza impression you've ever heard, huh? And here we have the consequences of Super Saiyan Blue. Because Goku and Vegeta became way too strong, everyone else in the series had to play catch up. Ever since Dragon Ball Super started, they were strong enough to beat final villains like Majin Buu in just their base forms. So there was no feasible way for any of the old characters to reasonably catch up unless there was like a miracle or something. But somehow they did. Take Android 17 for instance. He should not be as strong as he is in Dragon Ball Super. When we last saw him in Dragon Ball Z, he was weaker than First Form Cell, who was around the same level and even weaker than the later versions of Super Saiyan 1. Super Saiyan 1! And since then, the Saiyans have only gotten stronger and stronger, getting hundreds, no thousands, no, actually millions of times stronger, through multiple means too. Deadly battles, training in the cosmos, rituals, and galactic level events. So how is 17 keeping up with Super Saiyan Blue? Huh? How? Look, I love 17. He was one of the best people in the Tournament of Power, but he doesn't deserve this. Goku directly asks him how he got so strong because 17 literally retired to a private island. He has no way to get this strong that fast. And 17 told Goku, I mean, I still work out. What? You can't just... What do you mean? If I think about this any longer than I have been, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Dragon Ball has always had a special place in my heart because it always advocated for hard work. The more you struggle, the more you improve. That's basically what the Saiyan Zenkai boost is a metaphor for. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. This is a series that loves its training montages, which is perfect, because those are my guilty pleasures. I love training montages. But Dragon Ball Super didn't do those very well. Getting stronger in Dragon Ball Super has just become way too easy. If you want a character to keep up with Goku and Vegeta, who have been constantly training and putting their lives on the line for the universe on multiple occasions, all you really have to do is have them train off screen. Anyone who claims that Beast Gohan was not an ass pull of a transformation, you're coping. It's not an ass pull. They literally foreshadowed that Gohan was gonna strive for a new form. Gohan even mentioned that he was training off screen. Okay? Off screen training should not equal to a transformation that lets you keep up with the strongest characters in the series. Like, we had a whole arc building up how transcendentally powerful Ultra Instinct was. And now, because Gohan got really mad, trained off screen, and fought another recycled Dragon Ball villain, Beast Gohan is on the same level as Ultra Instinct? Sorry, no. Look, Gohan was my favorite character in the series at one point, but he doesn't deserve this. There's a lot more I can say, but I think you got the picture. The casual introduction of Super Saiyan Blue and its usage absolutely doomed Dragon Ball Super in a lot of areas. It had a lot of potential, but it left a hole in the series that I just can't help but get annoyed by. Anyway, that's all my throat can handle. Whoa, pause. That's all I can manage to say for now, because my throat is getting tired. Whoa, pause. Look, to leave you guys off, something I will always stand by is that Super Saiyan God has always been way better than Super Saiyan Blue. Have a great day.